Hello Facebook. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to log in and tap onto the show. We are talking on Let's Talk About Ice show on Facebook on Australian Anti-Ice Campaign Facebook page. So welcome. If you're out there, give us a holler, say hello. Sorry we're a little bit late, technical things. We are at the office today, but we do have a red couch, so awesome. Everybody, I don't know if you remember Jimmy.
Hello.
Yeah, Jimmy, of course you remember Jimmy. Jimmy was, he had a few minutes on the show last week and introduced himself. We were up in Cairns. We were doing some workshops and working with some people up in Cairns, and that was pretty amazing, Jimmy. He did an incredible job, by the way. Amazing, just reaching out and just really educating people on the dangers of ice, but also doing some outreach work there as well. So yeah, it was phenomenal work. We're going back again on the 31st of July, so Cairns, we love you. We had an incredible time there. The weather's fantastic, and we look forward to doing some more work there, hey?
Yeah, can't wait.
So if you're out there and you're following us on Facebook, give us a holler, say hello. Good to have you on the show. We are talking about ice on Let's Talk About Ice on our Facebook program. And today we are absolutely blessed to have a special guest on the show. Jimmy is part of Australian Anti-Ice Campaign core team. And we educate kids about the dangers of ice and other drugs, but not just kids, but communities and workplaces, and we work out with child safety, with the mines. We work out, workplaces as well to protect your workplace. So, but we do a lot of work in schools, and it's from lived experience, integrated into an evidence-based practice presentation. We share our journeys and we really raise awareness about the truth about ice and what that journey really looks like. And we're one of the few that actually escape that entrapment. So Jimmy has gratefully offered to come and share on the show tonight about his journey. All in the name of awareness and education. We are here to raise awareness about this drug, the entrapment, the lie that it is, and the how that it takes you to, because we don't want anybody else to go down that path. So we've been blessed with Jimmy, who's going to share his story. He's an incredible individual. We love him to bits. And we love the work he's doing on the ground, and we're very blessed to have him on our team. So thank you and welcome to the show, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So how did you go up in Cairns?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I couldn't believe the feedback and just the feeling I got out of walking out of the schools, especially day one up there. I did the year 12s at Cairns State High School. So that sort of kicked the presenters sort of thing off for me. The second day I did 2 presentations with the year 10 students, which was that was pretty cool. Some of the kids sort of when I was interacting with them, some of them interacted really well, but yeah, it's an alarming sort of thing what some of the kids sort of did have to say about it. One thing I'll sort of remember is I asked if anybody knew anything about ice addiction and things like that, and something that I'll remember for a long time is a little kid at the back put his hand up and he said, I know that it causes DVOs, and that was sort of bit, for somebody in year 10 not to know what ice is, but know, I guess, the aggressive side of things was pretty alarming. But yeah, and that's what we're sort of doing is explaining those kind of things, why people go through that, and things like that.
So you were also able to explain what actually happens in the brain of somebody that is addicted to ice and why those repercussions happen. So more importantly is, what is it and what does it look like, what's in it, and why those reactions, why we're seeing DVOs and confrontations and anger and violence and depression and suicide. I mean, you can see what's happening out there in society, but we don't really get to see and understand why, what happens in the brain, or and how quickly, isn't it, Jimmy, that it takes you over?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much straight away, sort of thing. takes over, obviously hijacks key areas of your brain that you wouldn't know was there. Especially the aggression side with mine sort of was very crazy is a bit of an understatement, but it took me into places where I never thought my head would go, like with violence and things like that. But while you're sort of addicted, it was kind of normal. And looking back at it now, I believe I'm one of the luckiest men alive. I sort of, as I'll share a bit later, I did go to jail a few times, and when I did get caught and went to jail, it was probably the best timing that I could ever ask for, if there's such a thing, like about timing, because there's no good thing that comes with ice. But yeah, I'm so lucky that it all happened at the time it did.
And you're still together, and you're with us, and
yeah, it's just still together,
your mind's still here. You know, a lot of people lose that.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, first, can I ask, how old are you?
I'm 30 this year in October. Yeah.
And how many years did you were you entrapped by this addiction?
Yeah, obviously I hit it very hard there for a while, and a lot of it has played tricks on my memory. That's one thing that I'm sort of still struggling with, but I wouldn't say good. It's a bad part of 5 years at least, where I was smoking it earlier on, and then went to heavier sort of things later on, and yeah, that was full time smoking it, but you know, doing it probably here and now on weekend, probably even longer. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time, and you know, the purity in ice has gone up dramatically over the last 5 years. You know, where 5 years ago you know the product, if you want to call it, or the substance or the poison out on the street was at about 15-20% strength or purity, as they call it, but it's not really any purer. It's more concentrated. So and today, you're finding it at anywhere at 80% or not even 90% down in some regional areas. So what that means is that it affects your brain straight away, and it hijacks the frontal lobe of your brain, and it starts to break down the neurological pathways. It depletes your serotonin and your dopamine instantaneously, and the drug takes over the person who's using it a lot quicker than previously. So I guess, Jimmy, I mean, you're an amazing, good-looking young man, with lots of potential in front of you. What happened? Like, how did you touch ice? Like, why? How did it all happen?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a question that I sort of ask the kids. I sort of talk to the kids about. You got to be careful of it, and a lot of it comes to. There's a lot of reasons, really. Peer pressure. I remember. For me, I was 20 years old. I remember. I was pretty much not on it or nothing like that, and I went to a couple of things. I lost my best mate, and I struggled with that a lot, and yeah, it still struggles with me a little bit today. But and I went through a bit of a depression, and I was down and out, and I moved into a house with some, just not naming anybody obviously, cause just with some mates, I guess, and yeah, it was a little bit of a party house and that kind of thing. So. And then one day somebody come over and yeah, well, it was just like that. We were smoking a few pipes, and I felt like, I don't know, I felt a lot different actually after smoking that first one, and then I was just doing it on weekends and things like that, and then it pretty much quickly, like you said, hijacks everything. Like it ruins you. But that didn't come a lot till after, when I started smoking it full time and then moving on to heavier stuff. But yeah, I remember when I was 20 years old, yeah, going through a bit of depression, losing my closest mate, and yeah, and then I thought that was the answer to get me out of my depression, because I had this feeling of, it was just a different feeling to what I was going through for the last few months.
It blocks it blocks your feelings, so you don't actually, while you're on ice, you don't feel. The dopamine, initially you get that high, but you don't actually connect with your feelings. So initially, that blocked the pain of whatever Jimmy was going through, but that wasn't the answer. And the truth is, Jimmy, we all have things that we have to go through in life, and that we have to feel them, and unfortunately some things are more painful than others, but ice wasn't the answer, because that brought a whole heap of other things into your life that you had to deal with that was painful.
Yeah, well, one word I sort of use a lot now is understatement. I guess like what happened later on, going down that path, like destroying my family, is an understatement. Yeah, destroying everybody around me, myself. I sort of, the things that I put, especially my family, all of them through is something that no matter what I do, I don't know, like it's weird to sort of talk about, I guess.
No, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
I know, you know, it's difficult to share, you know, the hurt and the emotional aspect of reliving that, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
yeah, it is, because, like I said, I count me lucky stars every day that did play a lot of tricks on my fingers, but in saying that, I guess I don't want to remember. The things that I did put my family through, some of the things I said, it just wasn't me. It wasn't me, and I thank God, I thank my lucky stars really that I'm now back in, and back in with my family, and it's I guess I feel closer to them than I've never been, because I've gone through, I put them through such a thing, like.
But it doesn't make you closer to them, but
no, like,
I guess now you're present
yeah.
to how important your family is.
Yeah,
right?
there was a time there, like I know for a fact that my family never thought I'd be back. And there was a time there where I never thought I'd be back with my family. Like again, I talk about my lucky stars with the timing of everything that happened with me when I did get arrested and went to jail for a pretty long time was. If it was a 1 week later, or if it was a month later, I wouldn't know where I'd be, and I don't think I'd be back with my family. I don't think I'd be sitting here today, spreading awareness with the kids, and that's it's. I guess I don't want any kid to go through what I went through, and I definitely don't want their families to go through what I put my family through. So I've got a passion for this that I've never sort of felt before. Like it's a different sort of feeling, and it's a different drive. Sort of that I've learned thanks to yourself, meeting yourself, and the other presenters and that. It's really, I sort of feel like I've got a place on earth at the moment, so which is a different feeling, especially going through all that when you are pretty worthless. When you especially coming off it, you feel your self-worth and all that isn't too pretty. So.
Yeah. I remember that, and you are worth it.
Yeah,
you know, and those of you that have family members out there, I want you to hear this, because you know, if you think that you've lost hope for your family member that's maybe addicted to ice, we are living examples that you can recover, and don't lose hope. You know, we like to teach families through our family support team and our clinical counsellors. We like to teach families on and give them tools on how to be prepared for when your loved one is ready for change. And we many times we're called in to where somebody is ready for change, and we can have that first point of conversation and say, hey, sister or brother, we've been where you are, and hold my hand, I'll show you the way. And that's what we do best, because we remember being there. So those families out there who may have loved ones in addiction, I just want you to keep your hope. Keep hope. Don't lose it, okay? Because we've got people working with us that have been entrapped in ice addiction for 21 years, and they've come out the other side. That was many years ago when the product wasn't, or the poison wasn't so potent. But you know, we're working with people today, every day. So don't lose hope. That's really important. Yeah. And I mean, look at Jimmy now, you know, and he's an integral part of our team and what we do. So we're very, very blessed to have him. So, you know, Jimmy, before ice, like, what was your life like? You know, you played.
Yeah, I grew up playing footy my whole life, which I've got to thank my parents like so much for this. I guess it's another reason how I did stay in recovery, because I do have that different group of friends through my football family.
Yep.
So I'm lucky. Not everybody, I guess, has that, and that's why I still again count my lucky stars. Why I am the luckiest man alive, because I've got this different group of friends, and my family put all us boys through footy. They worked at the footy clubs and all that through our lives. And at 17, I started taking footy very seriously, and I got my first contract then. It was a 2-year contract. I sort of walked out from Sydney. Just I look at it now. Obviously, being a bit older, there's obviously immaturity reasons, and then I was still playing very serious football, and I remember getting a phone call from my manager, who was one of the best, well-known managers in rugby league, Wayne Beavers. He ended up calling me. It was only a couple of weeks before my best mate died, saying that I had a top 25 deal the next year going down. And
wow.
within a year, everything sort of happened, and I was sitting in jail, like pretty much that quick. So
yeah. ICE came in and tried to steal everything, including your life.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Yeah, it took everything from me. It took my kids from me. Took my mum and dad from me. Took my older brother. Took my sister. Took my whole family away from me. You know, and for a long time I wasn't blamed. I didn't look at it like it was the ice. You know, I was so self-centered, I guess. So just selfish, I guess. You know, self-absorbed. I didn't know all this until I came clean and went into jail and started recovering and started, I guess, seeing a lot of young kids coming in pretty frightened, and I was starting to realise that they were going through what I was going through out there, and it was just happening more and more. And then that's when I started to realise that it wasn't me, it wasn't the people, it's the drug. It's this putrid thing that's out on our streets that's killing not just the youth, the elderly, it's getting everyone, you know. It doesn't discriminate, it's taking everybody's lives, and I've never hated something so much, you know, and I just feel like I got so much hate. I was starting to now blame that drug, that drug took my family away from me, that drug took me away from life, you know, it took me away from reality. I cared for nothing but that drug at that time.
It takes over your life, doesn't it? It controls you, and you know, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, that poison is there, whether we take it or not. But did you know what you were taking? Did you understand the minute you said yes to that pipe?
No, I knew nothing about it, and to be 100% honest, I actually, which I'm not condoning any drugs at all, I think it's all bad, but I was sort of under reason to believe that it was still a bit of smokable speed. Yeah. You know, and I thought I was smoking this smokable speed, and I didn't think it was, of course it's a big deal, but I thought, you know, it's just a party. And before it was too late once I found out that it was ice, and by that time I was pretty much hooked on ice, and I was shocked, but I couldn't stop.
You can't stop, that's right. I mean, all drugs have consequences. You know, they're lacing marijuana out there with ice. They're cutting, you know, party pills, they're cutting them with ice, you know. And before you know it, you have this raging ice habit. I mean, we really need to understand what we're putting in and the consequences. I know when, you know, it was presented to me, I didn't even know it was ice for 6 months. But I just thought, you know, like you know, it's just something you smoke. It can't be that bad.
Thinking it's a social sort of it's a drug, and you start it to be social, it's the most antisocial thing known to man, you know, like you start put. I guess you'd be the same, Andre, like with these little rules that you have at the start. Yeah,
that's right. I won't do that.
I'll only do this once with the boys. I'll only do this every weekend. I'll only have this one midweek one. And then I started saying, I'll never do this by myself. You know, I'll never buy a pipe myself. And then soon I was every day sitting there by myself smoking it, and then later on going on to worse things, you know.
So it very, very quickly takes over your life, and you think, you know, the boundary's here, and then it's here, and then it's here, and before you know it, really quickly it's taken over control of your life. So Jimmy, so you isolated yourself. Many people think that, you know, taking ice is like a party drug, you know. No. Tell us about what that isolation was like. What did you do and what happened?
I guess at the start I was never really alone. I don't want to I haven't been charged for certain things, so I can't incriminate myself a little bit. But I was surrounded myself with things that everybody wanted, I guess. And so I wasn't alone at the start, you know. And I always thought, like, I don't know what I was thinking, really.
You weren't? How's that?
That's right, 100%.
Your frontal lobe's not working?
I wasn't thinking at all. All I was thinking about was that pipe and filling it up. And then it soon become, I'll be awake for days on end just by myself without knowing. But those days just go like that. Like, So you don't know until somebody comes home and goes, oh, have you had to sleep yet?
Yeah.
You know, like say an old footy mate would come around to see me and go, have you been asleep yet? I went, no, yes, mate, I was here over a week ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're still sitting, you know, and
that's the thing, you lose track of time. There is no
Oh,
time
big
in
time.
Ice World. You know,
No.
once you immersed in Ice World, there's no time. You lose track of reality
Yeah.
and concept of where you've been, whether you've showered, whether you've eaten, whether you know. Where's the rest of the world? Oh, I've just spoke to them, but really, it was months ago.
Months ago, yeah, that's right. And even though I was in addiction for, I guess, I wouldn't say, like one day in addiction, I think one day too long. So, so it was a long time, nearly 5 years, but that 5 years, I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
I still don't know where it went. I got out from jail and my son was just like this little man, you know, and I was just like, whoa, like, where'd the last 5 years go? And my daughter was 3 years old when I went away, and she was 5, and she'd get out and she was talking like a little lady, and I missed out on all of that stuff. And the drug sort of ice took me away from my family for a long time.
It steals everything from you guys, you know. If you are somebody that is in addiction out there, you know, we urge you, that's why we're here, reach out, you know, because we want to help you. We've been there. You know, and honestly, these guys and the girls on this team, you know, they genuinely want to help you create a pathway into recovery. It is hell being entrapped in ice addiction, and we don't wish that upon our worst enemy. So if you're out there and you're contemplating change, please, I want you to call us or reach out on this Facebook page, send us a message, and we'll start talking to you. So our office number is 0756656063. We do have offices around Australia. We have offices in Melbourne, in Victoria. We are also operating out of Adelaide and Cairns now as well, and Sydney very shortly. So we do have people down on the ground in WA as well. So if you are in addiction and you're contemplating change and you're sick of that lifestyle, we're here to help. There is a way out, and we'd like to help you do that. So Jimmy, what happened for you to end up in jail? Like, I bet you never thought that was going to happen.
No, well,
wow.
I guess I've been 4 times now, but the one time that I really talk about, and the one time that changed everything for me, was the end of 2015 to the start of 2017, little lag in there. I went in with a lot of shit just coming to us, you know, and there was a lot of stolen possession in my house that, I didn't steal, but obviously I got raided for a meth lab, and they come in, there wasn't a meth lab. But then I remember the copper having a chat to his other mate saying, look at all this stuff in here, you know, we'll ask for receipts. And so I said to one of the boys, like, let's get everything out.
I bet you didn't even know what was in there.
No, I mean, nothing was in it. Like, and then they end up coming in and pretty much taking my whole little setup that I had there, and asked me if I didn't show receipts that they get me with all stolen possession. And that time I was still on court order parole, so it was automatic jail time, and then I had to sit the panel, get a house address, which was nearly impossible because of the bridges that I burnt with my family and with all my good friends, my close friends, and so that was a very tough thing, was trying to actually get an address to get out. And
it's like the boy who cries wolf, you know.
Yeah.
What happens when you're entrapped in ice addiction? You'll do whatever it takes for the next hit. You know, you'll lie, you'll steal.
Yeah.
That just comes with part and parcel. And when you've done that too many times to people around you that love you and care for you, they just, you know, they'll isolate you. And when you really need help, you know, it's hard to get that help that you need, isn't it?
But that was all my own doing. That was my own fault, and I needed that. I don't think, if anything was any different with what I've been through, I wouldn't be the person who I am today. So I'm so thankful for everything, the way everything panned out. I had to get paroled to a parole share house, which 99% of the time won't work. But I was adamant to be that 1% person where it'd work. I walked in, and everybody was still using it in the house. A few of the boys I still knew from jail, and I could have easily just jumped straight back onto that bus and onto that stupid roller coaster, but I was so adamant not to, and I put it into my brain pretty early that I have to work 5 times harder as the next person, because I've done 5 times worse to my family, you know, I wanted to make up for it, but not to my family. I wanted to do it for myself.
Yeah.
So I sort of looked at it as God sort of putting me right in the deep end and testing
me.
Yeah,
I've had that too.
Yeah, and I thought, you know, and I remember looking up going, yeah, you're going to test me.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was ready.
Yeah. Wow, that's huge. So you plonked in the middle of the house.
Yeah, and I thought, you know, and if it was a time for a relapse, it was straight away then, you know. Because getting out after a while and with the stress of things, I sort of got a little bit of anxiety. Straight after when I went up to sentence management and they said you're going home tomorrow, yeah, I was stoked, I was happy. I was thinking I'll get to see my kids tomorrow, but then I quickly, like a wave of a bit of anxiety came and I thought, oh my God, now I've got to go to Centrelink, I've got to see my parole officer, how am I going to do all this? And luckily, while I was in there, I reconnected enough with my family where my mum and my little sister were there to pick me up, and my little sister took me shopping for clothes and things like that, and I had a lot of good clothes and all that, like really good stuff when I did go to jail. But when I started coming clean and knowing that I wanted to change, I wanted to leave everything behind and
start again.
And I really wanted to walk out of that gate with nothing, and really wanted to start again and press the reset button, so to speak. And that's what I did. Be the full new man and not worry about, you know, all my so-called mates that were stealing my shit. I just didn't give a shit. I really didn't care. They can have it. They win, you know. And, I wanted to start again, and that's what I did.
That's awesome. And what an amazing man you are. And we're blessed to know you and have you on our team, mate.
Yeah, thank you. And a lot of that's all through my support. Not just my family and my mates. Like I remember I getting out on a Wednesday, and the next day was Australia Day, and then on the Friday, because I just started my Facebook page, somebody that I look up to like an older brother. He rang me up. He started his own concrete business, and he said, "You coming to work on Monday?" And I sort of started throwing over those little excuses, going, "I just got out. I want to set into life." And he just said, "No, you're not doing that. Like, you're going to sit up at that house. No way. You're starting to work on Monday. I've already booked you in." I said, and so luckily my parents did, and I met all these good people in my life through footy. And my parents, I'll have to thank for that every day. They're the ones who put me through footy ever since I can remember, and I've got these support networks everywhere, all over the country through the footy I've played and the schools I've been to and things like that my parents put me through.
Yeah, that's amazing, because you know those people were already in your life, but you know, when you were at your weakest moment and you needed support, it's almost like God activated them, and everybody comes around to help them. And the same thing happened to me, and we had another opportunity to, you know, to start again and to go, no, I don't want that life, and you know, we're worth it, and I want to start again, and I'll put that behind me, and this is not who I am. That's what I did. That's what happened, but it doesn't make the person. You know, what happens in the brain of somebody that's addicted to ice, you know, ice becomes their lifeline. It becomes their wife. It becomes their husband. It becomes the air they breathe. So they'll do whatever it takes. And you know, it creates a not very nice person out of that journey. I haven't heard one story that says, you know, I became this amazing person on ice. You know, we all think we don't have a problem. You know, when we first use, I don't have a problem. I'm just using it recreationally. I've got control over it. It's not control. I'm not an addict. I'm just smoking some stuff. I'm not shooting a needle up my arm or anything, or you know, I'm not really an addict, and that's how it all starts. You know?
That's the start. That's it.
But we're no different, you know. And whether you're using weekly. You know, I love that. I only use once a week. Like, you use once a week non-stop for 3 or 4 days, and then you sleep for 3. And so that's the week.
And then what's a week on crack time? It's a month, really.
That's right.
But it's crazy like that.
Yeah. So you know, being able to give back, you know, and just really, you know, walk people through what that was like, and the entrapment, and being, you know, in jail, and having your life taken away from you and your family and your children, and waking up one day, you know, years later, and your kids are big.
That's pretty much, because I didn't, and it was my own fault, it was my own doing. I didn't want the kids coming to see me in jail. For later on, obviously, them thinking that it was pretty cool, like for Dad to be in jail, because they do think the world. I mean, they did even when I was in addiction, unfortunately, but I didn't want them to see that side of me, and I was probably at my most vulnerable. I was down in the dumps there for a while, right, down, especially coming off it and with the depression and all that. But I guess jail, I'm so lucky because jail's not one place where you can look down, where you can be down. You kind of got to get up every morning and put your head up. Otherwise you're a target. So it sort of made me stronger in saying that, and I don't want to. Because I can only talk on my own experiences,
yes.
And when kids ask me in the workshop what was jail like at the end of the thing, I can't. It's not a good place. I've seen some things which are shocking. You wouldn't want to see anywhere. There's 70 men sort of in one unit, which is no bigger than a yard, and so shit is going to happen. And but on my experiences, I'm glad that never happened to me. So I am one of the lucky ones. But I've seen some terrible things, and so you don't want to end up where this drug takes you. It takes you really to three things, and that's either jail, a mental institute, or death. And if I didn't go to jail when I did, it was either one or the other. Pretty close to it.
We'll come right up to the borderline.
And I'm glad that God sort of put me in the jail, somewhere where I've been before, somewhere that was, I guess, I don't know, just helped me. But it doesn't help everyone else. So I can't talk.
There's drugs in jail.
Oh, yeah, like you wouldn't believe.
So you had a choice.
Yeah, I had a choice. I could have, done that, but I know I've been 4 times and I've never got on the drugs inside, and that's something that I'll always sort of be like. I think if I can't go be locked in an institution like jail, and I can't kick the habit sort of thing in there, I've got no hope out on the outside world, And I thank my dad for being who he is and bringing me up with a lot of, I guess, mental strength when you need it. And I needed it there, but so I knew early on that the longer I did in jail, the better for me. With my addiction and things like that. But I can't talk for anybody else because.
Well, jail's not the optimum,
no,
place that we want to go for an addiction. No. There are rehabs out there. There's some amazing rehabs around the country.
Yeah, it just worked for me.
It worked for you at that time, but you didn't really have an option to go to rehab.
Right. No, I didn't have an option. My family had no support. Like we got set up now with the family support networks and all that, which I think is very important in our campaign, what we're doing, to tell the parents and the family that are going through a family member in addiction that there is support out there, and you need to just hold on to hope. It's hard. Like, it's such a tricky one. We can't tell you how to deal with it because everybody's so different. And I know when I was going through addiction, if somebody come to me and said, "Hey, we're going to rehab, I'm taking you," you're right. right. You know what I mean? But then when the coppers come and grabbed me and took me to jail, I had no choice. And I'm so glad that happened, especially when it did.
So, like Jim is saying, families out there, when you're confronted with the fact that your loved one, it may be an addiction, or, any type of addiction, but I specifically, you don't know what to do. You panic and, you just reach out for trying to get resources. We're here to help. We do have a care team, we have a family support team, and we have a clinical counselling team alongside of that. So we are, our family support team and do have lived experience, so they've gone through it with family members. And my daughter is actually one of those family support people. I'm so proud to say that she's out there helping other family members through that. And they help you with some tools. They're trying to give you tools to be able to help your loved one. How to have clear boundaries, how not to enable, how to know the cycle of addiction, and how to do a brief intervention. So, these family support people are trained with that so that they can help you. So we're here to help you. That family support number is 0481 844 555, or you can call us at head office on 07 5665 6063. You can also reach us at www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au, and you can send us a message, an email from there, and we're really happy to connect you to your state a team there for support or brief intervention. So how's life looking for you now, Jimmy? How's the recovery process, like physically and mentally?
Oh, physically, mentally.
Did you go through psychosis, by the way?
Yeah, I went through a lot of that actually. That was one big thing that sort of played big with me. I guess it all sort of played big with me, doing it for so long. The side effects that I did have, psychosis was a big one, which I didn't believe it because I was in it.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't believe it for a while. But,
you think it's real, don't you?
100% it was real, you know.
Psychosis.
Things like, you know, it's. I guess it's a little bit funny for me now, but it's not funny at all. You're going through it.
Yeah.
It is so real. With things like conspiracies with the government and things all like that. Like you probably know. It hurt the head a lot.
So was the government after you too?
Oh yeah, 100%.
After me too.
Yeah.
And the computers and the doors.
The computers and phones and
They tapped in and it's very real at the time. We laugh about it
it's
now.
So believable.
It's so stupid, but at the time it's very scary.
Yeah, it is. It does get scary, and that's why again I touch on. I'm so happy for coming to a stop on the streets when I did, because I was sort of taking the next level sort of thing, like as we'd say, wigging out sort of thing. I was on the wig big time, and it was getting scary sort of thing. It was scary on how I was reacting to it. I was actually believing that I was in this sort of a video, and you know, the next sort of person was coming through the door, if he was coming to, you know, rob me or whatever, I didn't know what I was going to do, you know. I had sort of things. So I'm so glad that I come out, I pretty much got pulled out of that life by the police when I did, you know. Like I said, another week later, I don't think I would have lasted another month later where I was going. I would have either been doing a very, very long time in jail or in a mental institute or dead. You know.
Well, I'm glad that you're not dead. I'm glad that you're here to share your story, and more importantly, you know, these guys do brief interventions with people in addiction. So what that means is that, you know, if you're somebody that's in addiction and you're contemplating change, you know, we're really happy to come and have a chat, have a cup of coffee, and tell you about what helped us and what we did. And we're happy and armed with some numbers to be able to walk with you into recovery, because at the time when you're first contemplating change or wanting to change your life, and that does happen, you go, I can't do this anymore, we're not taking this, we're not doing it anymore, and you know, we're gonna, but you do because you don't know what else to do, because the depression gets, and the anxiety and the psychosis and everything gets so bad that you just pick up again, so you end up doing it again. But if we had options in front of us, you know, it's easier to make those choices and going, this is what you're missing out on, this is who you are, and this is what is, you've lost your family, your friends, your football career, you're going to jail, mate, but there's this option, you know, and this is the cost versus the benefits, and we can have that conversation and say, I've got some numbers, and let's give it a call, and let's start your process into recovery, let's go to detox, let's prepare you to go into rehab, put buddies to walk there with you, you know, and we really want to do that. So if you are contemplating change, please give us a call. So what's our message today, Jimmy, out there to the people? Like,
with families and things like that, just try not to give up hope. I know it's hard, like it must be hard. I guess it's one of the toughest things that my family have ever been through, and we haven't had you know, roses red sort of life, you know, like we haven't had it all. But I know now that what I put my family through was the toughest time in all my families in their life, and I wasn't even there for it, so I can't even imagine. You know, I was out. You know, so you just. I know for a fact that my family would have given up hope. And just like I guess I gave up hope, but also into my own life and into my self-absorbed addiction, where
you thought you were going to die like that. I can't get
that's right. I thought that was me for the rest of my life, I guess. But one thing that I tried to raise when I did the jails up there was a lot different to talking to the kids, and I just wanted to show them a bit of hope and show them that it can be done.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd say to the boys, believe me or not, you know, but I've been exactly where you are.
Yeah.
I've done things to myself that a lot of you probably haven't even tried yet.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of them were interested in how to get off it. They did sit around and talk to me after, and
That's awesome.
and want to chat to me, and
Yeah.
like,
You're an inspiration, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just one thing that I like to stress, like, it's just a shame where I've got my experience from, I guess. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm doing a good thing here with the schools and all that, but it's where I got my experience from doing it is, it wasn't me, and it's sort of like something that I don't know, I must say that when I did start getting clean, even in jail was worse. I never slept a full night. I probably got 2 hours at most, and that was 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off.
Yeah.
That wasn't just because of my regrets and all that, it was also my body was trying to recover and things like that. And now sitting, after doing the schools last week, I remember going back to the caravan park where we stayed, and I had just had my first full night's sleep, and I woke up in the morning, I was just like, wow, you know, and I couldn't believe it. It's just that sort of feeling, it's that accomplishment, but in saying that, we've got a job to do, and that's spreading awareness to these kids. With the information that I share to these kids, I didn't have before I started.
That's right.
And I honestly wish somebody could have come and told me what side effects that you had, and show the movies that we show, or somebody with life experience telling me, because I know that my life could have been different, you know, and that's all. I'm just trying to give these kids a choice that I didn't have.
That's right.
And that's my main thing that I'm going for.
That's awesome. And that's what we're about. You know, we don't want people to go down that path. You know, prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
And let's be, you know, proactive and stop being reactive to a problem. How many more rehabs do we open? We do need them, don't get me wrong. We need rehabs, we need facilities that are helping people out there, but we want people not to go down this path. You don't need to. So we're about prevention, education, and awareness predominantly, and then we also do brief interventions and help people come out of the dark into the light. You know, you deserve better. You know, you really do, and life can be so much better.
Come and join us on the other side. That's what me and one of the other presenters, who's a very good mate of mine, and he's probably watching, DJ. He's actually he got me into where I am today. We're good friends through football and things like that, and we were sitting up there and we were doing a few things which we didn't actually go up there with intentions to get people into recovery, but they sort of come to us when you're doing this. And we take them out for a drive and all that, and we just sort of just into them, you know, going, come and join us on this other side. It's amazing. You'll never understand the feeling of who you are and what you're doing and how good it is. It's like an accomplishment is like another understatement of the feeling that we get and what we're doing out there.
Well, like I say to people, you know, God saved me for a time like this. You know, I should have been dead 5 years ago. And we've been given another opportunity. And, you know, we are walking hope for others. You know, a very small percentage of people who embark in ice addiction actually come out the other side. You know, we want people not to embark. That is the aim. And we want to raise as much awareness and educate as many people as we can get in front of. So, you know, we're on a mission. And you know, it's all, isn't it?
And we're not going anywhere until ICE is 100% out of this country, you know.
Amen. And New Zealand.
And New Zealand and really the world. But while ICE is still around, I don't think I'm going anywhere, that's for sure.
I'm glad we're in this together then.
That's it.
So we don't have much time left, but we have a couple of questions.
Not so much questions, I just heard what Jimmy said about his family, and since we've been here, we've had on this thing with comments of "we love you, cuz, we love you, bro." Congratulations from Nicole, Brendan, Serena, Braden, Chloe, Rebecca, Carla, Jane, Pred, and your sister, is it Cassie?
No, that's me cousin, Cassie.
Cousin. So all of those people, you know, so proud of you, mate.
Yeah, thank you. Hey guys.
Is that still playing? Is that still live? No. Okay, I just wasn't sure whether
He just
whether
come
the
back
video.
in.
Yeah, he just wanted to look at the camera. This is our show.
Yes.
Come out on the show. And we're here to talk about ice, guys. Oh
There
my
it is again.
goodness!
There it is
again. Oh my goodness! Has the volume gone off? The volume's gone down.
iPhone storage full.
Is it still playing? Videoing?
Yep.
Are we still on the couch on Facebook?
Yep. We're going good. There's still comments coming through, so I
Okay,
think
so
so.
is the volume up? Does it look like the volume went down?
No?
You moved the thing across. Sure?
No, there's still people
Guys,
commenting.
can you still hear me?
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Glenn tripped over the cord, dropped the camera on the ground. Welcome to Australian Anti-Ice Campaign. Life happens, but we are real people, and life does happen, and we do life together, you know, and we just get over it, yeah? We've seen worse, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I want you to check out these t-shirts, guys, and there's a few more on the wall. Don't Mess with Meth, and that was Jay's t-shirt that he invented. But these t-shirts are for sale on our website, www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au. They are for sale. Wear it proud, yeah? No, say not even once. No more to ice, yeah? We don't want it around. And all the proceeds from the sale of this t-shirt goes towards helping us educate more kids and more communities on the dangers of ice. So we urge you to get your t-shirt. It is, $30. I think it is delivered, and it's worth every cent, because every $5 helps us educate one child. So you'll be putting that money towards a good cause, and you can be proud to wear Australian Anti-Ice Campaign. No to ice, not even once. Yeah, how does it go? Not even once. Yeah. So I'd like you to thank Jimmy. I'd like to thank Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. We are honoured to have him as part of our team, along with many others around Australia. We had a question, I think, Glenn, whether we're in New South Wales yet. We are just preparing to launch into New South Wales, so we're working with some people there. We're about to go down to New South Wales is it in July?
Yes.
In July. And we will be holding a meeting for everybody interested in joining Australian Anti-Ice Campaign in Sydney. So if that's you, please get in touch with us on our webpage. There's a volunteer with us now, or contact us and submit your name and details, and we will call you, because we'll know if you're from New South Wales, and we're arranging a group meeting for people in New South Wales to come and meet with us, and to be able to get a team down there working, and helping educate on the dangers of ice. So again, Jimmy, thank you so much on sharing your story with us. It is a heart-wrenching story, but it is a story of hope.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's a living example of, you don't have to lose your football career and for years of your family's life, and miss out on your kids' upbringing. He didn't have to go through that. So we want other people to have and make good choices for themselves, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
So really thank you so much for joining us, and we're blessed to have him on the show. And we look forward to sharing again next week at 7 o'clock Queensland time. I ask you right now to share this page, share this video. You don't know who needs to hear our message out there, and it is all in the name of education and awareness. So please share it, because people don't talk about it until the problem is really, really bad, and they may be embarrassed to talk about the problem, but maybe a video that you send across might outreach to them, and they will contact us for help. So please share this video. That's really important. Thanks for joining us tonight. We look forward to sharing again next Thursday at 7 p.m. Good night, Facebook.
Now Glenn can't press stop.